Made it. Dallas. Shut up. All right, Texas, we made it. I flew in. Went picked up Jason. He's in there. So we finished unloading everything. We're gonna go through the car, make sure all the nuts or bolts are okay, because we actually, all I did was, after St. Louis, just dropped it off. Just gonna clean it up a little bit, get some of this rubber off, some of the dirt. I'm sure that's everywhere. We'll check it out. One fun fact is the exhaust is cracked. So we're gonna figure out a way to get that hung or strung up or whatever, or see if somebody's got a welder. Turn the voltage up a little. These are not pretty, but it'll do. Okay, to be clear, I had to make a gas directional nozzle thing out of aluminum foil, so give me a break, okay? Andy, thank you, bro. Just like always, just finished up with some drivers meeting. They changed the track layout a little bit, so now there's two just outside zones on entry. Right now, I've got Adrian and Jason changing out the alignment.
So let's go by like maybe like 2 mil.
Let's go watch Pro1 practice. So now it's off to practice. First practice is finished up. If I'm honest, I am not super stoked on how I did. The first run seemed okay, and then all the other ones I was just playing around with, keeping it either in 4th gear, 3rd gear. I went off track a couple times. I went way too close to the tire barrier, and unfortunately the bumper was the victim. The front bumper actually just fell off. We figure some zip ties are just going off because I didn't hit anything with it, but it got run over and it got destroyed. We'll try to put it together for the big show, but I think for qualifying, we'll just leave this as is. All you have to do in FD is actually just start with the bumpers and you'll be okay, or you're allowed to keep going. So she's still a one piece. There's another practice in a little bit here. This is obviously where I got way too close, scuffed that up. But thank God I tubed up the back. It just bent this a little bit. We bent it back and it's okay, so. All right, quick update. So my clutch started slipping right when I started pulling out for practice. So we have to pull the transmission, swap the clutch, see if that'll fix the problem. We tried bleeding, we tried adjusting the clutch pedal. That unfortunately didn't work. So that's just a quick update. I need to hop in there and help these guys. Wish me luck, guys. All right, so we changed out the clutch. Turns out the floating ring in the middle actually broke off. And it just fried our clutch. Lo and behold, we put it together, and of course, I think our fuel pump took a shit because it wouldn't idle. So we're gonna try to finish that out. We have to be there in like 5 or 10 minutes. So it turns out it wasn't the fuel pump. It turns out that actually when we put the clutch back in, we pinched a couple wires in between the bell housing and the block and all of the rush. Obviously, we did check, but we didn't notice it. So it was arcing, and our map sensor wasn't functioning correctly, throttle position wasn't functioning correctly, and neither was fuel pressure. So all of that made the car not want to start or turn over. Luckily I was able to get a hold of my tuner on the phone, and he went through some stuff with me. I don't even know if the car starts yet, because right now all the guys, they're buttoning everything up. We actually had to pull the transmission just a little bit. That's Jason if you can't see him. But I did look at the laptop. It does show that everything's functioning properly, or at least getting the right signals. So now when that's all buttoned up, we'll see if that started. In another crazy turn of events, we were up next in line, and we already called a 5 minutes to try to figure this out for our first qualifying. So to recap, we had no practice because the clutch happened to break on us, and it took all of our practice time. We missed our first qualifying. We used our 5 minute, and it's actually so dark out there that the judges had to say that it was not safe to run the event. So they actually put it on hold and they're gonna have it tomorrow. So that gives us all night to be able to actually work on the car. As a huge stroke of luck in all of this bad luck. So I'll take it, man. We'll see. We get one practice lap tomorrow in this kind of circumstance, and then I have one qualifying lap. Two other guys went off earlier, Tim Cobb and one other guy, and they're actually going to let them redo this just because it's only fair. So yeah, pretty crazy. So we're going to see what happens. All right, guys. So good news is the car's fired up. We finished up with everything around 10:40, 10:30 last night. Car fired up. Called my tuner to make sure everything was okay as far as some of the settings. Thank God for him. Koji, you're a lifesaver. Thank you so much, man. We readjusted the fuel pressure because we messed with it earlier. So now it's back to where it's supposed to be. So we have one practice/sight lap that Formula Drift is giving us so that we don't go out there cold for qualifying and then we go out and qualify. We only have one lap to do that in. So we will see how that goes. But I'm just happy she turned over. The guys busted their ass, man, so I'm really happy about that. So let's go out there and see what I can do. Hopefully we lay down a decent lap to get into the show. Well, there it is. Just like that, we are out of the show, unfortunately. I'm a little bummed, obviously. I want to do a little bit better, but we gave it a hell of a fight. We came across a couple other problems. Actually, the slave cylinder, it is starting to go out because we noticed it was dripping from the tunnel, and it made the catch on the clutch really aggressive midway point. It was actually leaking on the clutch discs, so it feels like it wasn't grabbing hard enough. And since we messed with the fuel pressure earlier, unfortunately it was breaking up a little bit when we were out there. So we gave it our best. The boys put in a hell of a lot of work, so I cannot be more thankful. The season's over, car's in one piece, so we're gonna try to get it back together, do a couple updates on it, and come back next year. All in all, like I said, one piece. Motor held up. We'll go get it retuned, freshen her up, but we beat her up all year and she's been decent. You know, we've had our problems, but as the saying goes, that's racing, right? So we'll enjoy the show, grab a couple beers, watch Pro2, cheer on our boys, and then watch Pro1 as well tomorrow. So can never do it by yourself. So I have a team, a lot of good guys, man. They take their time to come out here and they just do it for the love, man. So I can't say thank you enough to them. Thank you guys. You know who you are. They are Jason, Jason, Adrian, how's AC, James,
not cold enough,
and Luke Pakula. Thanks, boys. Season had its highs and lows, but that's how it goes, right? So until next year, guys, take it easy. That's a wrap.